Welcome back to Friday Focus on Leadership. So we're here with Dave Garrison, the author of The Buy-in Advantage. So we're looking each week over the next 8 weeks at one key principle to help you create better buy-in to your organization. All right, Dave. So this week we're going to look at this key principle you talk about in your book called clarifying your purpose and direction and how important that is for moving forward. So talk about that. What do you mean by that and how can people put it into practice?
Yeah, one of the things we know about today's workforce that's particularly important, different than last generation, is aligning with something greater than themselves. We spend so many hours at work. It's what are we doing it for? Organizations that have high degrees of buy in always have what we call as a compelling purpose known by all employees. A compelling purpose answers the question, why is this worth doing? It's never about money. It's not about the paycheck. We expect all those things. It's a how are we changing the world because we exist? There's a retail jeweler that says we memorialize special events. In other
Hmm.
words, we're not really selling jewelry, we're allowing people to remember those times in their lives like weddings or anniversaries or other kinds of events. At Walmart, Sam Walton said, we're about putting money back into Americans' pockets. And so the advertising slogan might say, save money every day, but the purpose of the organization is to put money back into people's pockets. How do they do that? Business strategy, source from low cost producers, have a
Mhm.
distribution system that allows inventory to be delivered last minute. I mean, just all strategy lines up with purpose. So the question is, what's your compelling purpose? If you don't have it, create it with your team and then use it to guide prioritizations and decisions.
Well, it's so important. In the nonprofit world, it tends to be a mission-driven organization, right, already, but this is just as important for companies to have that compelling purpose. Love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Thanks for tuning in for week 2 of Friday Focus on Leadership. We'll see you next week.